The death toll from Cyclone Batsirai in Madagascar has risen to 92, with over 112,000 people evacuated. According to the National Disaster Management Authority, 71 people from the Ikongo region, located about 530 kilometers south of the capital Antananarivo, were among the dead. According to officials, many dilapidated houses could not withstand the impact of the elements. Landslides blocked roads, cutting off settlements from the outside world. Residents of the affected areas need help. Cyclone Batsirai hit the east coast of Madagascar on Saturday near the city of Mananzari. The wind speed reached 60 meters per second. Heavy rains caused flooding and caused extensive damage to homes and infrastructure. At least 7,400 houses were destroyed and another 7,000 residential buildings were flooded. The Cuban Institute of Meteorology confirmed the occurrence and passage of a waterspout that subsequently made landfall in the vicinity of Guanabo Beach and Tarara, east of Havana. The event occurred around 10:30 a.m. At the moment there is no information about human casualties. However, there are interruptions in electricity and telecommunications due to falling trees and damage to power lines. Several houses received a number of minor damage. Photos posted on social networks show giant trees completely uprooted. Some of them damaged cars parked nearby. The largest tornado hit Cuba in 2019. Then 19 people died and 200 were injured in various ways. Degree of severity. Volcano Fuego, which is located in Guatemala, is unusually active this week. After only 2 days after a strong eruption, he again makes itself felt. Between 12 a.m. and 8 a.m., the volcano produced a series of lava eruptions and ash ejections. The maximum ash plume rose to a height of 4,700 meters and spread from about 10 to 15 kilometers northeast of the volcano. The authorities warned the local population about the ashfall that will settle in nearby settlements, and also recommended that Pacaya National Park be kept closed due to the risk avalanches and serious damage. The Civil Aviation Authority ordered that precautions be taken during flights in the volcano sector due to the presence of a large amount of ash. Heavy precipitation, as predicted by meteorologists, continues to hit the Brazilian state of Rio de Janeiro. More than 100 millimeters of rain fell in 12 hours, resulting in several municipalities such as Miracema, Itaocara, Santo Antonio de Padua and Aparibe being flooded. Authorities issued an orange weather alert until Monday and urged the public to seek safe places to protect themselves from flooding and request civil defense assistance if necessary. The flood level varies depending on the area, from 60 centimeters to 1 meter. According to the latest information, the death of 1 person is confirmed, 9 are missing. A flash flood caused by overflowing rivers swept away cars in its path. The infrastructure has been seriously damaged. Meteorologists predict that heavy rains that caused flooding will not stop in the next few days, and the water level in already flooded areas will continue to rise, which will greatly complicate rescue operations. Heavy rains that hit the DIENG Plateau, Central Java, Indonesia, caused localized flooding in many areas. Water flooded settlements, gardens and roads. Local media say that the height of the flood varied from 30 to 50 centimeters. As a result, traffic on some roads was very difficult or even impossible due to strong water flows. In addition to flooding settlements, floods also affected agricultural land. As a result, the potato crop was badly damaged. In addition to severe floods, landslides were noted on the slopes of some mountains, which in turn also blocked part of the roads. Meanwhile, there were no reports of flood victims in DIENG. However, It is estimated that local residents have suffered huge losses. In the Chinese province of Jiangsu in East China, public utilities and volunteers were mobilized, who were armed with snow shovels. More than 60,000 people. Such massive human resources were required to clean the city streets of the ancient city of Nanjing, as well as to spray snow-melting chemicals on the main roads. Nanjing Lukou International Airport, which serves the entire Yangtze River Delta region, cancelled and suspended several hundred flights until the runway was cleared of snow. Meteorological authorities in North and Northeast China have issued blizzard warnings that have already affected road and air traffic and disrupted the normal rhythm of daily life. It is reported that dozens of highways are blocked due to snowfalls. Snow accumulations on average reach 50 centimeters. Environmental authorities are investigating the deaths of thousands of fish after they washed ashore at several locations in western Sydney. The last case of fish death occurred under the Rydalmere Bridge on the Parramatta River. The reason for the death of fish and shrimp could be a lack of oxygen that arose due to a series of hurricanes that filled the rivers with organic debris and caused water pollution along with an increase in its temperature. According to preliminary data, up to 4,000 fish died in the Parramatta River, but the authorities cannot give an exact figure. Eco-activists expressed confidence that sewage became the reason for the death of fish. They are discharged into the sea through several sewer pipes. In social networks, local residents of one of the cities of Mexico shared a terrible video of the mass death of birds. The video surveillance camera captured the instantaneous death of about 100 yellow-headed birds. These cards are really scary. Instantly, hundreds of birds fell to the ground and puzzled Mexican scientists, who could not determine the cause of death of migratory birds, suggesting that they fell into a toxic cloud, crashed into a power line or made an unsuccessful aerial maneuver. But the fact remains, the behavior was clearly not typical. Air samples were taken from the scene, as well as carcasses of dead birds. SpaceX said a powerful geomagnetic storm has killed 40 satellites launched last week. Increased resistance prevented the devices from starting maneuvers to increase the orbit. Several dozen satellites will re-enter the Earth's atmosphere and burn out. The geomagnetic storm was provoked by a coronal mass ejection of the Sun, recorded on February 9. Atmospheric drag during the storm has increased by 50% compared to previous launches. The satellites turned edge onto the stream, but could not prevent a quick deceleration. Experts warn that the first 12,000 SpaceX satellites could cause 90% of spacecraft collisions in low Earth orbit. Thank you for watching the video. Thanks for supporting the channel. Good wind and weather.